Hey guys, and welcome to my new cosplay vlog covering Haruhi Suzumiya's cheer uniform as requested by PoPiPanda. Now, I actually made this cosplay a year ago, so for the purposes of this tutorial I'm going to remake the top, but instead of making the exact skirt, I'm going to use my Persona 4 uniform skirt for the actual tutorial. So, as always, to start off with, I gather my references, and there are lots to be found of this uniform, namely a whole episode. Here we have a couple of all three of the girls, the second one showing the sportswear that they wear underneath, which I'm also going to cover. If you wanted a more 3D references, there's lots of pictures of the Figma and the Gashpon of Mikuru readily available. All my reference pictures are available on my photo bucket, and there should be links in the description for that. This picture of the back of the Haruhi Figma shows that the blue and yellow lines go around to the back. Now here's the fabric that I'm going to use: white cotton jersey, royal blue bi-stretch, blue and yellow bias binding, and an 8-inch zip. Now I'm using a white one for my skirt, but you're going to need a blue one, and matching coloured threads. We're going to start off with the top, which is basically a white tank top with some stripes and a v-neck. The fabric I'm going to be using for the main part of the top is of course the white cotton jersey. Good suppliers for cotton jersey are Ven Fabrics and Tianite on eBay, links in the description, so they've got really great selections of this stuff. So here we're getting the basic shape of the top, and I'm using a tank top that I already own. Now when you do this, bear in mind that the fabric you're cutting might not be as stretchy as the original top. If that's the case, you'll have to cut the top a little wider. If the stretch is the same, just remember to mark it that 5/8 of an inch wider, because that will be your seam allowance. Remember, you can always take things in, but you can't bring them back out again. Now what I'm doing here is I'm only cutting out 1/2, so basically what that means is that I can remove the tank top from the top and fold it over like this, and that means that you can cut the two sides exactly the same. So now you have two identical pieces, but you're going to need to make one piece the front and cut out the v-neck. So here I'm using the neckline of the tank top to mark out where I want the top to end. I marked the line with a ruler, but I've cut it slightly curved, and I don't know if you can really see that, but it will just help it fit better. Now I'm going to use this as a template to mark out on the blue bi-stretch where I want the neckline to be, because I've got to make the blue part of the collar. So there you have the front and back side by side. Here I've laid the white front part of the top on top of the blue bi-stretch, ready to mark out the neckline. Now the neckline I've cut out of the white is actually where I want the neckline to finish as a whole, so that means when it's got the blue on it. So here we're able to use it as a template, marking out my seam allowance 5/8 of an inch away from the edge of the white. Next, we remove the white part and start to measure out 2 inches and 6/8 from the line we've just marked out in order to get the V shape for the front. You'll need 2 of these, so make sure your fabric is folded over. A good tip here is to try not to cut near the folded edge of the fabric, keep to the outside if you can. This means that you'll be able to unfold the fabric and have one large piece of fabric rather than 2 little ones. Here it was a better use of space for me to cut near the fold. And there you have the V. Now, here we're going to cut away 1 inch from the neckline of the white front, and repeat the whole of this process again to get the curved neck piece for the back. Next we're going to take this bias binding. As you can see here, it retains some stretch, unlike ribbon. So just folding the blue in half here. You can do this with an iron, but bias binding is really easy to manipulate, so a small amount of pressure should do the trick. Next, I'm going to fold the blue over the yellow. This means I don't have to worry about any of the white from the top peeking through. So just pin that to your top, front and back. Now here what I'm doing is I'm using the front where I've already pinned down the stripes to mark out where those stripes would meet at the side seams when attached to the back. This gives me a reference to follow, and I'm just going to pin the blue and yellow bias to the back as well. Everything cut out and ready to sew. So in part 2 I'll be showing you how to put the top together. Hopefully I'll be getting that up over the weekend. See you in part 2.